Man, I sit here, this partial government shutdown thing has been a big deal, and I don't even care about it no more now. But I just want to talk about being a chosen one. All my life, I couldn't understand why I wasn't accepted. Why people would make fun of me or call me weird or whatever it was, even though secretly they liked me. I found that stuff out later, but being a chosen one, man, it's not as super special as you think it is, but it is. You know what I mean? It's nothing to go around bragging about. Oh, I'm a celebrity, I'm a star, I'm a this or that. No, I'm a chosen one, which means the things that I am able to do that people think are so great, or the energy that I do emit that is so great, and those like me, it's because we got a hell of a responsibility, man. I just really realized I'll be 41 in December 1st. And I just realized I'm not here to live a normal life. It's fucking crazy. I mean, excuse my language, but it's wild. People concern themselves with getting great educations, finding beautiful careers, or getting lots of money, and getting married and being with one person for the rest of their lives, or for some people, 5 or 6 wives for the rest of their lives. I don't know. People seeking romance and all these things. And I'm like, that shit is cool as fuck, to the point where I have literally tried to live like that myself, partying and clubbing and hanging out, fighting, you know what I mean? Whatever. And it's like no matter where I go, I'm not accepted. I remember being involved in drugs, and people telling me on that side, bro, you too good for this. You're not built for this. You too giving and shit, you know what I mean? And it just dawned on me that I'm gonna disappoint a lot of people. Hopefully I don't disappoint the ones I don't want to disappoint, you know what I mean? But as a chosen one, and all chosen one really just simply means is that the universe, or if you believe in a personal God or whatever it is that, religions teach, that the universe or particular God itself has chosen you through lifetimes, you know what I mean? Through lineage, ancestral lineage, certain karmic things, has chosen you to influence the current world system. And I'm not talking about the government, and even though they are a part of it, but all the things we were taught to chase after or go after in the world are really just chasing dreams, you know what I mean? If we really knew where the fuck we were at right now, we wouldn't be worried about none of that shit. We wouldn't be worried about romance, dating, sex, drugs, partying, making lots of money. We wouldn't care about any of that shit, because the only thing we would care about is getting the fuck out of here. Who the fuck wants to be 100 years here? 115, 90 years, 80 years. I mean, but see, the world doesn't think that way. The world doesn't think that way. You look at all the greats, all those chosen ones who came before me. Muhammad. Oh, well, let's start this way. Let's go backwards. Noble Drew Ali. Prophet Muhammad, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, so on and so forth. People who were called out unto a purpose. They were always mocked, looked down upon, You know, they didn't really come from no super, except for Krishna and Buddha. You know, they came from for money. You know, but most chosen ones, man, we start from some messed up places because we must go through every way of life and overcome the world, just like Jesus said, right? And the problem becomes that we forget our purpose for a minute on why we came here in this particular incarnation. Even Jesus forgot and had to be reminded by John the Baptist. He had to be reminded by Peter. You know? Jesus asked Peter a question. He says, who do the people say that I am? Excuse me, y'all. When the body begins to change and begins to get ready to go to that next level, it's going to become sick. Especially when you're still partaking in things that are not in alignment with your energy or your energetic flow. Whether it be drinking, smoking cigarettes, eating improperly, whatever. Lack of exercise, stress, worry. So my body is going through some changes because what it's trying to do is detox itself. It's starting to become resistant to worldly things. My soul is ready to get up out of this body. But anyway, let's get back to Jesus and Peter. Well, first let's do Jesus and John the Baptist. Or as the Moorish Americans and those who have the 18 missing years of Jesus know him as John the Harbinger or Harbinger. And so Jesus says to him, he said, look, man. No, John the Baptist comes to him and says, man, you should be baptizing me. And Jesus said, everything must be done in its time. That was Jesus' higher self speaking. But John the Baptist was letting Jesus know at that moment, like, you're the one we've been waiting for. And usually with chosen ones, we don't see it. We feel a sense of purpose. We do. Something bigger than, you know, waking up and going to work, getting married, having children, raising children, having a career. All that shit is just like, it's cool. But there's got to be more. There's something else, right? But other people will know that you're a chosen one and they'll tell you. And a lot of times what happens is chosen ones, we always dumb ourselves down because we don't want to stand out as better than anybody else. I promise you. Every now and then our flesh, you know, that we're in, or the ego mind, because of upbringing and DNA hereditary transmission, the world itself, certain things, but we'll start to have a sense of ego or a little pride or cocky about certain things. But it's only because that's a defense mechanism for us. It's not because we really think we have a reason to be prideful. In fact, pride is something we don't like. Because we know it's shallow. I mean, even the Bible says pride goes before a fall, right? Or before destruction. But we fall into it for a sense of protecting ourselves from the world. So kind of like my man Jay-Z said, he said, sometimes you need your ego. You got to remind these dudes. You know what I'm saying? So basically what I'm saying is, after Jesus didn't know that, boom, Jesus goes, has a transfiguration up on the mount, talking to Elijah and all these dudes or whatever, and then he knows. So he comes back down, and he's talking to, you know, his disciples or whatever, or the cats that was rolling with him. That's what I'm going to call them. They weren't no disciples. They was the cats that was rolling with him. They was his closest companions, just like the Prophet Muhammad and everybody else had. And he asked Peter, Petros, meaning rock, right? Rock of salvation. He said, who do the people say I am? And Peter said, some of them think you're Elijah come back, you know, Prophet Elijah. Some think that you are this or that, all these different things. He said, okay, that makes sense. He said, but who do you say I am? Now, this is powerful right here. Because he singled Peter out. Notice, he's only talking to Peter. That means the other cats that was rolling with him, they weren't there. They didn't get to hear. And Peter simply said, you are the Messiah, the Son of the true and living God. Now everybody would be looking like this nigga Peter tripping. This ain't nothing but Jesus from Nazareth. Like, can anything good come from Nazareth? This ain't nothing but Mark Lee Ill. Or Mark from Jersey City, Hackensack, Baltimore, whatever. But this is what Jesus told Peter in response. He said, look, he says, Peter Bar Jonas, son of Jonas, flesh and blood has not revealed this to you. You ain't hear this from no man. Nobody here told you that. He says, my Father in heaven hath revealed this to you. He said, go and tell no one. Now, why would Jesus tell this man not to go tell nobody? Because the world was not yet ready. When it was time for them to be commissioned, and he told them to go into all the world, preaching the gospel to all creatures, even the animals, even the trees, the grass, everything you could think of, the air, the fire, because everything has a spirit in it. Anyway, but Jesus said, like, basically, like, you're on point. So the point I'm making is as chosen ones, we don't, we forget. And we have to forget. In order that we can go through and learn the lessons of earth, if we remember, there's nothing to go through. And like he said, how can I succor my brother, man, or succor, if I have not gone through what he's gone through? How can I help a drug addict if I've never been a drug addict? How can I help an alcoholic if I've never had a drink and a drinking problem? How can I help a sex addict? Somebody who overeats. So as chosen ones, we got to go through all that shit, man. In order to reach a person or people, you have to be able to relate to their struggle. You can't say, hey, you know, I'm a drug and alcohol counselor because I went to school for 7 years. And so you read about me. You read about addiction, but you ain't never experienced it. And what you don't know is it's different for each person. Just like molestation or rape. Everybody's reaction to those particular events is going to be different. So the point I'm making is, as chosen ones, we have to be careful, man, to protect our energy, because we feel so deeply on levels that other people can't even fathom. Like, you know, they worried about their little personal pains and traumas and depressions. Like, we carry the weight of the world on us, bro. You know, like that one god from, you know, ancient Greece. I think what was his name? He's holding the world up on his back. Is it Kronos? Which just means time, I think. But this shit can be crushing because we're not meant to feel everybody's pain. Because some people love their pain. See, we're only meant to reach those who want change. Sincerely want change, to the point that they would give up everything this life has to offer to get that change. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you got two minds. You got a mind that is completely entrenched in earthly things. Call that the lower self. And then you have the higher mind that is only interested in things that shall never pass away. I'm talking about eternal things, things that are forever satisfying. Imagine eating a piece of chocolate cake and it's always satisfying. It never goes away. You could put it down, pick it back up. No matter how much you chew or swallow, it's always going to be there. Just imagine that for 1 second. Because that's basically what it is to live from the higher mind. Like, you never have to say, excuse me, I got to go to work and punch a clock for 14 hours for 4 days and pray that I can relax on my 3 days off. Like, because, you know, money is endless. And I'm saying this right now, having many times stressed about not having money. Shit, just this week. I'm like, damn, you know, made a good I'm out of money, bro. Like, went on a trip down to Miami for work. Worked every damn day except that Saturday. And made some good money, man. And yet, somehow, part of it wasn't my fault, but most of it was because I didn't think about others. I just thought about myself. I went into a moment where my lower self, my finite mind versus my infinite mind. See, my infinite mind was, when I get this money, I'm going to do this, that, and the third. But my finite mind took over once it hit my hand, because me going through some other things in my life at the time made me feel justified just to say, F it. I'm just going to do me. Live for today type shit, right? But then get back. At that moment, I was living in a higher mind for real. The lower self is only because of the things I chose to do with the money. But the higher mind was saying, man, blow it. I'm going to give you some more. I mean, imagine having a parent, right, that got endless abundance. I ain't just talking about cash and money. I'm talking about abundance of things, right? And they can never run out of it. And no matter what you do with it, you can never run out of it. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. And for a minute, I forgot that. And it was like, oh, snap, what am I going to do now? You know, I get back. People who depend on me are worried, and I start worrying. And it's like, what? Do you know who your father is? Do you know who you are? I mean, from Noble Drew Ali on back to ancient Egypt and Atlantis and many of these ancient societies, they understood this right here. Either it was man, know yourself, or know thyself. Noble Drew Ali went and collected up the Christians and the Muslims, so he had to say it a little different. Especially here in the West. Had he been in the East, he wouldn't have had to. It's already known that when dealing with God, you're dealing with yourself. But here in the West, they had what we call a separatist ideology. Meaning, they want to separate everything. They want to separate male and female. They want to separate adults and children. They want to, or minors, or I don't know, whatever words you want to use. They want to separate light and day, or night and day, or light and dark, good or evil, love or hate. You know, everything is in twos, the pair of opposites here in this dualistic consciousness. And, you know, a lot of times we'll hear that we are in a plane of duality, right? And now talking to somebody who's an average Joe, you know what I mean, that's not in tune with that type of, thinking or mindset, they're like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? A different plane, or plane of duality? Like, plane of what? What plane? An airplane? And really, it's just a plane of thought. You understand what I'm saying? You thinking that there's male and female. You're thinking that there's night and day. You're thinking that there's hot and cold. But really, there's no separation. So now with that type of thinking, we start to say, well, if everything else is separate, then God and man got to be separate. You understand what I'm saying? God had to create man. So if God created man, then man can't be God. But that is the biggest trick that the devil has ever played on people. And when I say the devil, I'm not talking about a separate being. I'm talking about the being right within you. You chose to think like this. You chose to think that there's actually flesh and blood, that you have to eat to live, that you have to breathe. Like, you are breath. Like, what are you breathing? I have to ask myself that. What do I mean I'm breathing? Like, I am breath. I am spirit. Spirit don't breathe. Even when you're reading some of these sacred writs, right? Like, it'll say, God breathed forth, or these two, when they breathe, a child is born. Who's breathing? The whole world is breath. But see, what they're doing is they're trying to make us think that we are actually doing something. You're going to work. You're having sex. You're getting married. You're making children. You're eating. You're washing your body. You're sleeping. You are have leisures, plans, goals. They want you to really think that you are living, but the reality is you're dead. And I don't mean dead as in the horrific death, but you are in a state of sleep, which is the cousin of what? Death. They are the same in two different operations. When you physically go to sleep, you're dead. Your body is not active. But because breath is constant, the breath can be in the body and out of the body all at the same time. So much so that when it's outside of the body, it's not outside the body enough that the body will never get back up. It's outside the body enough that the body can rest. It's not putting its 400 of electricity or actuation into the body at that time. So you're able to wake back up because it's still connected. But when death takes place, this is a full commitment to transitioning on to the soul plane. It don't want to be here no more. Its work is done. It's time to go. So now I'm not going to leave a bit of myself in there and go to my room and rest a bit and come back. I'm just going to take my whole self. So all that to say this. If God is separate, right? If God is separate from man, then who made God? And the reason I say that is because, most Christians and Muslims right off the gate, nobody made God, he's transcended, he's this, he's that, but yet you're calling him a he. Or if you go over to the Kemetics or the Nuwabians, they start talking about God as a she, the black woman is God. So the 5%ers say the black man is God. You go over here to the Nuwabians and some of these Kemetic science, whatevers, they want to start talking about the black woman's God. And I say, wait a minute. So the black woman created me? The black man created me? How you do this? And they say, well, knowledge and wisdom come together and born understand. I get all that. But where's the creation part? Because they didn't create my breath. They gave me a body. But they had nothing to do with my soul nor my breath. Except that they allowed themselves to be the gateway for me to manifest myself. So I can't let this go on no more, man. I know I'm about to sound dramatic, right? Stop. Because it's going to go on. I'm just going to save as many as I can by saving myself and allowing people to see that. Because the reality is, it's hard as hell. Or hard as a wall. I like that better. Hard as a wall to live in a world and be yourself as a chosen one. For instance, I give you an example. I woke up with a bit of a hangover today. It had me down. Like, it had me down. Had me thinking, too, like, shit. But, I was so down. My wife, being a good wife that she is, she's like, man, babe, you got to drink water. Man, you got to eat something. You got to take a shower. And I'm just like, babe, you got to just let me be. I was like, I'm fine. My body's not. Like, I'm not sick. I'm not hungover. My body is. It's just like your car. If something happens to your car and they say, oh man, my car's messed up. They don't say I'm messed up. Now I might be messed up from the situation because I need my car to get around, but I don't feel what my car feels. You understand what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with the body. Like, I feel it only because I'm creating an image about this body that ain't true. Because then we start saying things like I am, and we put negative things on the other end of that. Like, somebody will say they are depressed, they are sick, they are unhappy, they are annoyed, they are happy, they are in love. But the spirit ain't in love. The soul can be in love. I know you probably say, how the hell is it different? Well, the spirit is who you are. The soul and the body are what you wear. But you're only doing this mentally. And as soon as you begin to wake up and start to believe that, you start to find out how weird you are in the world. Because when you say things like, I'm not sick, my body is. To them, they go, okay, yeah, so you're sick. And I never knew how deep this was, I promise you. But I'm starting to see it now that I'm living my truth. And what I mean by that is that I've read in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America many times. Man is not the body nor the soul. He is a spirit and a part of Allah. Right? And you wouldn't believe that most of the world, or most of the masses of sleeping giants, believe. They truly believe that they are their body and they are their soul. Damn, if they only knew. That's why I'm here trying to tell them. Really look into these things. Like, for instance, when you lay down on your bed or you take a nap or you fall asleep for the night, sometimes you will dream, sometimes you won't. But when you dream, my question is, how the fuck are you seeing that? Like, how are you experiencing this? Not with your body. Your body is chilling, waiting for you to come back to it. But you are experiencing episodes. What world is that? Because it's not the physical world. It moves too fast to be the physical world. You could be in one dream and in 2 seconds in another dream. Mind you, both dreams are played out fully. It takes about 12 hours from sunrise to sunset. But you can be in a whole dream that seemed like it was forever and go from that one to another one in 2 seconds. It's astronomical. So when you start to really live your truth and you say things like, they be like, what's wrong with you? I'd be like, ain't nothing wrong with me. My soul going through something. Or my body not feeling well. They can't disconnect. See, they can be separate in everything else, but they can't be separate when it comes to thinking that if their body is hungry, they're hungry. Like, how the fuck can you be hungry in your spirit? But then they say, you can't live without food. I say, you're a damn lie. Because what's really keeping you alive is spirit. I don't give a fuck how much food you feed a person. If they can't breathe, they're going to die. They're going to die fat. You understand what I'm saying? So how do we truly live? Because you can go days without eating. But I ain't never seen nobody go days without breathing. Or what they call breathing, sorry. Without spirit, you won't live. So I'm starting to really see now everything unfolding like people really live in an illusion, bro. And I don't want to see people living in an illusion no more, but they got to want it. You know, people worried about the partial government shutdown. That's what it was, partial. It wasn't a government shutdown. It was a partial government shutdown simply for this fact right here. During the time, if I would have went into any store and looted that store or stole or whatever, they would have called the police. TSA was still moving around, doing their thing. And these are all government departments and agencies. So it was only partially shut down for programs that were meant to assist the people. Because what they wanted to do was drive us into madness, survival mode. Because they then captivated us in the dualistic mindset. Like, they actually make you think that things can go extinct. Or they make you think that there's lack on the planet. Like, there's not enough of this. There's a shortage of that. Like, what? But I'm like, it's mighty funny that animals don't know nothing about this. Only humans. Only these really smart humans, really smart dummies that really think like you can't survive unless you can go to the market. But the animals do it every day. And half the shit you run into the market to get to survive is what's killing you. So let's make it make sense. Why are we still running around talking about Jesus is coming back? And he's on his way because things are getting worse. Why are we still going to churches, temples, mosques? Why are we still believing fairy tales? But yet we don't believe in Santa Claus no more. So we didn't get rid of Santa Claus. We didn't get rid of God when we got rid of Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and the Boogeyman and the... How would you even know about God unless somebody told you? Because there's places on the planet where they've never heard of these concepts of gods and prophets and angels and Jesuses and Muhammad's. They've never heard these things because the colonizers couldn't make it to their land because they would kill them. So he never got to colonize them with this bullshit. But I just want to say to all my chosen ones, man, just live your purpose. Because the more you live your purpose, the more you're going to be able to see beyond the illusion, the veil of illusion. And you'll really start to pay attention to people, like their energy. Like the things they can't accept that you say, like, but you know within self that this is what you should be saying too. Like, do you realize every time you say I am and you add something to that, you're describing yourself, your condition. You know why? If you don't want to be depressed, why would you say that you are? Why wouldn't you say that you are? Why would you say that? Because your word has power, God. He says, let there be light, and there was light. It's talking about you. It's talking about the masculine aspect of the divine energy. You got a masculine aspect of the divine energy, you have a feminine aspect of the divine energy, but really it's neither. It's genderless, but it carries all in one. And that energy now, illusionally speaking, is within this capsule, this cave, this Golgotha, And it's just time to break free, man. The Great Awakening is now. Jesus has come back now. Jesus has come back now for his church, for all those that believe that. The Mahdi has come back for all those in Islam. You know what I'm saying? Like, we out here. It's not one particular person. Like they always do that. They make it about one particular person. We're waiting for the Messiah. That's singular. Or we're waiting for the Mahdi. Singular. We're waiting for the Savior. Singular. No, there's people all around the world right now, including myself, that are saving their motherfucking self. And together they start to realize they're one, so they realize they're the one man saving itself, saving himself. Not like, Jesus is going to come back and start grabbing people up. No, Jesus is awakening within. It says, Jesus in you, Christ in you, the hope of glory. Now, we know Christ means the anointed one. It doesn't mean specifically a man that was born, over 2,000 years ago in Bethlehem. No, the Christ was in him, awakened in him. He was anointed, just like you, just like me. Just like all people in the world. But the problem is, some of us know, some of us don't. And it's sad to say that some that don't, you got to leave them there. Not their time yet. And you don't leave them there necessarily by abandoning them. But what you'll do is, you'll begin to live your purpose so authentically that either they will grow with you or they will fall off. You won't have to push them away and you won't have to make them stay. Whatever's meant to happen will happen based on you being consistent within your energy, because I'm telling you, this is a weird place we're in, chosen ones. But we chose it. This is why we're chosen. Send me, I go, right? And now we're here. We got to do our job. And for all those out there that may be like, I don't know what this dude is talking about, listen. Keep listening. Something will resonate or don't. If it don't make sense and don't apply, let it fly, because not your time yet. But we're here for y'all. We're not here for ourselves. That's the whole point of this thing. I know I took about 40 minutes to tell you this. But you know, chosen ones, because we are not selfish people. We are reactionarily selfish sometimes. because we realize we have to be. Because of the light we carry and the softness and compassion that we do have, the meekness we do have, people will take advantage. So every now and then we got to act like people. But we're really here for the world, man. We're not here for ourselves. I promise you. You know. But it was awesome. Hope y'all support my channel, man. 888. Get money. Peace.